graduated now and moved on. Even pastors sitting out there.
How about your throat? Be correct.
That's true. Good luck.
This is a regular meeting of the Joliet City Council, Tuesday, February 5th, 2019, with Mayor Bob Odekirk presiding, Reverend David P. Jaspers from Ridgewood Baptist Church, 1968 Hillcrest Road, will be giving the invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I got through it.
Loving and gracious Heavenly Father, we give you great praise for all of the gifts that you give, the gift of life, family, love, for providing for us in times of need. Thank you for safety in the recent bitter cold weather. Thank you for the privilege of living together here in this community and enjoying all the good things that we enjoy. Thank you for these council members. Thank you for our mayor, for all the support staff. We ask that you grant them great wisdom tonight, and we pray that this meeting will be very productive. We give you praise for all the good things you do. For this we ask in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Let's pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm healthy. Thank you.
Thank you. Good seeing you again.
Thanks, Shirley. Enjoy your retirement.
We go with roll call. Mayor Odekirk.
Here.
Councilman Dickinson.
Here.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Here.
Councilman Girl.
Here.
Councilman Hug.
Here.
Councilman Morris.
Here.
Councilman Mudrin.
Here.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Here.
Councilman Turk.
Here.
First on the agenda this evening is a proclamation honoring the Joliet Ravens junior varsity team. If they could come forward, please.
Team, coaches, want to come up? Slide us a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah. Good. Yes, indeed.
Proclamation. Whereas the Joliet Ravens junior varsity team is comprised of a well-trained, outstanding athletes who have devoted to the sport of football and exhibit the true sportsmanship at their game. Whereas on December 14th, 2018, the Joliet Ravens junior varsity team won the Hall of Fame World Championship. Whereas the Joliet Ravens junior varsity brought home the Hall of Fame World Championship title and the first time the Ravens won the World Championship. Whereas the team won the regional tournament in the beginning of December and advanced to the finals throughout their bracket. Whereas they went on to compete against the PYAA Panthers to qualify for the World Championship. Whereas the Ravens advanced to the World Championship at the Pro Football Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio, and defeated the Fairlane Raiders 28-20. Whereas the success of the Joliet Ravens junior varsity team is due to the tremendous effort put forward by the team members who committed themselves to producing the best for the Joliet Ravens. Whereas the team roster consists of a number of outstanding athletes that I think they're all here today, and I'd like to give each of you a chance to be on TV. Step up to the mic, say your name, and come to the other side.
That's good.
The first.
My name is LaDania Tucker. Wait, what do you want? What position? What position you play?
play?
What position?
Right outside linebacker.
Okay.
Desmond Holden, and I play wide receiver.
All right.
Deion Davis, I play running back.
Dylan Corbin, I play wide receiver. Ramon Ramos, center.
John Wazkowski, DN.
Carl Bew, linebacker.
Anthony Smiley, D tackle.
Kendrick Muhammad, offense and defensive line.
Ethan Garcia, left guard.
Damiante McIntosh, quarterback.
Kavell Creel, wide receiver and cornerback.
Amari Ford, wide receiver.
Along with coaches Neil Williams, Damian McIntosh, John Wodakowski, and Bryant Irwin. Did I miss anybody? No, that's it. You got everybody. Congratulations.
All right, guys, good job.
My name is Neil Williams. I'm the head coach of the Joliet Ravens JV football team. I want to thank you guys for having us down here today. It's such an honor to come here and meet you guys, because a lot of folks you see names, and now to put faces with names, it's just a blessing. But these kids here who worked hard from the spring, during the summer and the fall, really put a lot of work into it. So to be world champions is big time for Joliet. So thank you guys for having us.
Trophy in the middle. Oh, you guys? No, face back out here.
Jan, where are you? Over by the, yeah, okay. I'm on here because I was going to say, this guy. Right. Set up on the table. Oh, the bling.
One, two, three, say winners.
Thanks for coming down, guys.
Thanks, guys. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good job. Congratulations.
Great job. My nephew. Yes, you did.
Okay.
Congratulations.
I saw you when you came in. Yeah, he's my nephew's coach over at Providence. Good guy. We got world champions in the mix now. Yeah.
Lucky Mike Bates isn't playing.
All right. There are no appointments this evening. Next is the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as written?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Been motion seconded to approve. Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Next is citizens to be heard on agenda items. Is there anyone present that would like to speak on an agenda item?
Hello, my name is Damon Stunich. I live at 430 North Center Street. On this agenda is the FEMA floodplain determination. FEMA made the decision to create a floodplain in Joliet. If Joliet does not build a levee near the U.S. Steel water treatment plant or immediately upriver of the I&M Canal. My concern is that the effect of this determination could cost the homeowners a bundle and make their homes and businesses, I won't say uninsurable, but it's going to have a negative effect on their home values. The city of Joliet needs to challenge FEMA's assumptions, and I know they have already, but they need to enlist local federal legislators to support the city. I understand Jim Trisna's trying to convince FEMA over the past 8 years as to the engineering reasons why it shouldn't be a floodplain. The city and Jim Trisna are correct in their reasoning. There's never been a flood event to the east side and downtown as a result of water backing up since the canal system was created in 1933. There have been numerous flood events in the city and surrounding area, including the floods of 58, 1981, 1996, 2008, and as recently as 2013. Those floods caused devastation throughout the Joliet area, but none to downtown. And you might say, why not downtown? Well, the simple reason is the Brandon Road Lock and Dam. I don't want to get in the weeds on this, but this is kind of important. Down at the Brandon Road Lock and Dam, there's 24/7 staffing, there's operating, maintenance, and engineering folks to ensure the water level maintains or does not deviate from elevation 538.5. Federal law requires the Corps to maintain that elevation. There's an operating constraint of 1 foot. 1 foot. The city, or I shouldn't say the city, the Corps is able to maintain that water level. This is kind of important because what that ensures is any water coming downstream is going to be effectively pushed over the dam. They've been doing this for 80 years. FEMA's whole premise is based on a failure at that dam to operate, but yet they've been doing it for 80 years. Now, there's other upstream events that have affected the ability to pass water through this area. And maybe many of you know of it, but at the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District's Thornton Quarry, they've recently opened that up to water coming in from, rather than going into the river, it's flushed into the quarry rather than flushed into the river. 8 billion gallons, as a matter of fact, right now. At the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District, McCook's Quarry, it's almost 4 billion that they just opened up in 2018. So it was 2015 at Thornton, 2018 at McCook. So those are upstream events that affect the water coming into this area. Together, what the Corps has done on a daily basis for almost 80 years and what the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District has done upriver make it next to impossible to flood for a flood event to occur on the Near East Side. Yet FEMA is singling out Joliet as to this floodplain designation. FEMA says Brandon could become inoperable due to a mechanical, thus the designation. Does FEMA require the same designation of Chicago's locks on the near north side? Does FEMA require the same thing of all those suburbs that require mechanical features to alleviate flooding in their areas? No, it's just at Joliet. I understand the city is being held hostage right now, or almost like under duress to meet this timeline. I get that the city has to vote for this $160,000 engineering contract.
Sir, you're over the 4 minutes. Can you wrap it
Okay,
up, please?
it'll be real quick. I hope the city of Joliet enlists federal legislators to fight this awful thing that the FEMA is trying to push on the city of Joliet. I hope the city doesn't have to spend any of its own money. This should all be on the federal dime if they insist on it. Let's not squander local taxpayer money on this issue.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak on an agenda item? Next is council committee reports. First is CTIS committee report.
CTIS, we met yesterday, and in attendance was myself, Councilman Mudron, and Councilman Betty Gavin, and David Brainer, our CTIS director, is going to come and give the full report. It's going to be good because they're going to be saving some money in the long run. So I'm going to let him give all the details so you can hear him.
All right. Thank you, Councilwoman. CTIS met, and really the bulk of the meeting revolved around our Tyler Munis renewal/payroll system that we're going to be switching to. Currently, the city's with ADP. We're going to be flipping. The decision was made to flip to the Tyler Munis payroll module. At the end of the day, we're looking at about an 150K annual savings by switching to that module. With that said, there is about a net 250K that we're going to have to invest to make that transition. So it's about under 2-year payback. And then every year thereafter, we'd be saving about 150K a year. More importantly, this is going to allow us to have some synergies around the core modules that we don't have in our ERP. So it's going to bring payroll and HR into the ERP framework, which is going to allow for synergies between the modules and allow for synergies within the city as a result. So we're kind of excited about that. We also touched on some other small maintenance items. We're going to be selling some old equipment. We went through the process for that. I gave a prison update. I think Marty's going to go into a little bit more details on that in the manager's report. And we also did an update for our print vendor that updates our printers and stuff like that. So we're going to renew that contract as well. Other than that, it was just business as usual. Do you have any questions?
No questions.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, David. You saved me.
Public Service Committee report.
The Public Service met yesterday at 4:30 in the afternoon here in the Executive Conference Room. On the committee in attendance was myself, Councilwoman Gavin, and Councilman Dickinson. Also in attendance was Councilwoman Quillman, as well as Jim Trisna, Allison Swisher, and other staff members. Most of it was, if you will, routine. I'm going to highlight briefly 3 items. We did go over the professional services contract proposed for Rumpy Sharp, as was just discussed by the citizen. Of course, this is in response to what we have to do because of FEMA. I believe that we covered that at length in yesterday's pre-council workshop meeting. We also, and this is important, we have a request for authorization to approve a professional services agreement for the alternative water source study phase 1. And we went through the suggested, which company was that again, Allison?
So we'll be working with the project team that completed phase 1, which was CMT, Stantec, EEI, also with Illinois State Water Survey, Images Inc., and that's the whole team.
Okay, and I want to, and certainly jump in and correct me if I, describe anything wrong, Allison. Allison's done a bang-up job on this, as well as the lead removal project we had, which I'll get to in a second. But on this one, this is second phase of we've narrowed it down from dozens originally to the 14 that were vetted in depth, down to 3 water sources and 5 possible options of getting water from one of those 3 sources. The final decision on this will be done in December, which then will lead into letting contracts for engineering, design, and ultimately construction. And I believe that we've been able to jump on top of it. Mayor, thank you for appointing the Water Commission Subcommittee. That helped a lot. Otherwise, this council may not have got it done in time, because we're going to meet that 10-year window that we've assigned to ourselves. Am I correct, Allison? Wouldn't you say?
Yes, that's correct. We have the 2030 deadline for when we would need to have an alternative water source in place.
Okay. And the other thing that, not directly related, was as we do repairs and replacements and we disturb basically service lines that are still lead service lines were allowed in Joliet up until about the early 1930s. Joliet never allowed lead for any of the water transmission mains. Correct, Allison?
Yes, that's correct. Lead is only found in the service lines, not in the source water or the water mains.
And that would only be in homes built before, say, the mid-30s at the latest.
Yes, it was probably anything before the 40s. It was banned in Joliet in the late 30s.
So the good news is we don't have a lot, but again, we put together the program as a committee, and she's actually put together the program herself as the director, that we are removing and replacing them. The city will pay for the city's portion of the service line, and we'll split 50-50 on the homeowner's portion of the service line as we do this. And should the homeowner need to, they can contact the city and work out a payment plan when it comes time to replace theirs, down the road. So that's, another important item that we covered yesterday. And then the other item we covered was the additional monies that will be coming from the state to cover the project for the I-80 bridge. otherwise known as the Center Point Bridge. Well, this bridge is very important, and what it's going to accomplish is it's going to solve a lot of the headache of trucks on local roads. It won't address I-80, obviously. That's something that we have to work with the federal and state government to get corrected. But it is, with Joliet taking the lead under Mayor Odekirk's administration, this is going to do a lot with all the other secondary and side roads, not the interstates themselves. And the initial estimate of, I think it was 22 million, was just that, a very preliminary estimate. Our staff even told the state engineers at the time, this isn't even close. But that's the first phase of doing it. So now they've really got down to brass tacks on it because we're getting ready to build the bridge. And it went up to 34 million, correct? 32, went up 10 million. The state is paying for all the actual and real upcharges that occurred once we really delved into the final designs and moving forward. And I want to commend Jim and his staff because there's a number of payments in the millions of dollars that traditionally the state does not give a municipality until 2 or 3 years after a project is completed. And we're getting a good portion of it up front. Am I correct, Jim?
That's correct, yeah.
So thank you, because, we don't even have to front the money on this. So those are the main 3 items I wanted to highlight. This is good news for us as a city and moving this forward and addressing traffic, addressing lead, and, finalizing the resolution of our alternative water supply. The rest of the items were pretty much, contracts and pay order, change orders and pay estimates that are routine. We vetted everything. Every item on our agenda was approved unanimously for recommendation for approval to the full council. With that said, that would conclude my report, Mayor. Thank you.
I show no other reports. Under consent agenda, approval of the minutes. It's recommended the minutes of the pre-council meeting held on January 14th and the minutes of the council meeting held on January 15th, 2019 stand approved as recorded. Council Memo 41-19, regular payroll for December 21st, 2018 through January 3rd, 2019, $3,457,909.97. Council Memo 42-19, special payroll for January 18th, 2019, $2,163,754.54. Council Memo 43-19, regular payroll for January 4th through January 17th, 2019, $3,414,808.04. It's recommended said regular payrolls be approved. And Council Memo 44-19, position vacancies. It's recommended the city manager be authorized to fill 1 historic preservation summer intern and 1 planning summer intern position, both in the Planning Division of Community Development Department, 1 summer intern position in the Engineering Division of Public Utilities, up to 4 summer labor positions and 1 laboratory intern in Plant Operations Division of the Public Utilities Department, up to 12 summer labor positions and up to 2 urban forestry interns in the Roadways Division of Public Works, 3 firefighter paramedics, 2 police patrol officers, 1 administrative coordinator position in the Finance Department, and 1 secretary, 1 position in Neighborhood Services Division of the Community Development Department, and any subsequent vacancies which may occur with these positions. Is there a motion to approve said consent agenda items?
So moved.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Motion carried. Under public hearings, Council Memo 46-19, ordinances and a resolution approving the annexation of 52.1 acres located at 620 Sandall Place and 800 Richard Street, classification to I-1 zoning, and approval of an annexation agreement. Although this is being recommended to be tabled, the public hearing was opened and continued to this meeting, so public comments would be in order at this time.
It's a public hearing. Anyone like to speak on this item?
Seeing none, is there a motion to table Council Memo 46-19 and the public hearing to the March 19, 2019 council meeting?
So moved. Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to table Council Memo 46-19 and the public hearing to the March 19th council meeting. Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 47-19 is a public hearing for and request for approval of an ordinance establishing the 2019 Joliet Special Service Area Number 1, Logan Avenue, Washington Street to 2nd Avenue. This is a public hearing, so comments would be in order at this time.
Would anyone like to speak on this item?
Let the record show the hearing is now closed. Is there a motion to approve Council Memo 47-19, an ordinance establishing the 2019 Joliet Special Service Area Number 1, Logan Avenue, Washington Street to 2nd Avenue?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Motion carried. Under ordinances, Council Memo 49-19, ordinance to set a revised date and time for and to approve a public notice of a public hearing for the Silver Cross Tax Increment Financing District Eligibility Study and Redevelopment Plan and Project. It's recommended said ordinance be adopted, setting a public hearing for April 2nd, 2019 at 6:30 PM.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
April 2nd,
Motion carried.
6:30.
Council Memo
Imagine, yeah.
50-19, an ordinance approving a vacation of a
think that's on
14-foot by
Monday.
99-foot portion and a 7-foot by 66-foot portion of an unimproved alley located adjacent to 1209 Edge Hill Avenue. It's recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So move.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Tuesday.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 51-19, an ordinance amending the 2019 annual budget for the purchase of snowplows, roadways division. It's recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Been motion and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Coleman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 52-19, an ordinance authorizing negotiations for the purchase of and the filing of condemnation proceedings for the property necessary to widen and reconfigure Vetter Road. It's recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 53-19, an ordinance amending ordinance number 17194, regulating development in special flood hazard areas. It's recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Not happily, but aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Agreed. Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 54-19, an ordinance amending the 2019 annual budget for the purchase of an HR payroll system from Tyler Munis. It's recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Motion carried. Under Resolutions, Council Memo 55-19, a resolution authorizing a cost-sharing service agreement with Pace and Centerpoint for bus service on Pace Route 511. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So move.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman? Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 56-19, a resolution authorizing the execution of an economic incentive agreement for the Laraway Crossings Business Park, Phase 2. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 57-19, a resolution authorizing execution of an intergovernmental agreement between the County of Will and the City of Joliet for Mills Road and Briggs Street water main improvements and authorization of associated payments. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 58-19, a resolution approving addendum number 1 to the intergovernmental agreement with the State of Illinois Department of Transportation for the Hobart Road, I-80 to US Route 6 roadway improvement project. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 59-19, a resolution declaring certain City of Joliet property as surplus. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Motion carried. Under award of contracts, Council Memo 61-19, award a professional services contract to Rump Sharp for the Downtown Floodplain Levee Flood Wall Design Project 2019. Council Memo 62-19, approve a professional services agreement for the Alternative Water Source Study Phase 2. Council Memo 63-19, award a contract for the passenger elevator controls and operator upgrade, Route 66 Baseball Stadium. Council Memo 64-19, award a contract for the 2019 Lead Water Service Replacement Program. Council Memo 65-19, award a contract for the East Side Phosphorus Removal Project. Council Memo 66-19, approve a professional services agreement for Contract 1 of the 2019 Water Service Valve Mapping Project. Council Memo 67-19, award a contract for hardware maintenance services. And Council Memo 68-19, renew a contract for managed print services. It's recommended Council Memo 61-19 through 68-18 be approved.
So moved.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Motion carried. Under amendments, change orders, and payments, Council Memo 71-19, approved change order number 1 in the amount of $3,935. Change order number 2 in the amount of $5,904, and payout request number 1 and final in the amount of $33,599 to Elliott Construction Corporation for the concrete material supply and installation of the Bicentennial Park fountain renovation at 201 West Jefferson Street. And Council Memo 72-19, approve amendment number 2 to the professional engineering services agreement for the Phase 1 and Phase 2 engineering services for the Hobart Road I-80 to US Route 6 interchange modification and roadway reconstruction project. It's recommended Council Memo 71-19 through 72-19 be approved.
So moved.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is the city manager's report.
And Mayor, before we go to the city manager report, can we go back to revisit Council Memo 49-19? That's about the ordinance to set a revised date and time for the public notice for a public hearing for Silver Cross. Do we have, Krista, do we have a meeting on April 2nd, or is that a combined meeting on the 1st?
That's election day.
It's election day, so no.
Yeah.
It'd be a combined meeting on the
It'll be Monday. The combined meeting is the Monday, right? I'm pulling it up now. Let me see.
I was trying to pull it up on the internet in here, and need some upgrades.
Yeah, but it is election day, and it'll be a combined meeting, so.
Okay. So council, based on that, now we have some new information based on this. So who was the one that made the motion and was seconded for 49-19?
I made the motion. I did.
So did you want to rescind that,
Rescind my
rescind that
motion.
motion.
I rescind my motion for council member 4916, is that?
It's 49-19.
49.
And then who was the second on that one?
I don't know who's second.
Councilman
second
Turk.
one, but I don't know if it was that one. That one? Okay, I'll
Yeah,
rescind the
that was
second.
Okay, so do you want, can we take a roll on rescinding the vote on 49-19?
Sure. It's been motioned and seconded to rescind the vote for Council Memo 47-19.
49-19.
49.
Oh, I'm sorry, 49-19, thank you, which is an ordinance to set a revised date and time for and to approve a public notice of a public hearing for the Silver Cross Tax Increment Financing District eligibility study and redevelopment plan and project. It's been motioned and seconded to rescind. Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Motion carried.
And now a motion would be order to amend 49-19 and have the public hearing of April 1st and then all references in the April 2nd to make it April 1st.
So, second.
It's been motioned and seconded to amend Council Memo 49-19, which is an ordinance to set a revised date and time for and to approve a public notice of a public hearing for the Silver Cross Tax Increment Financing District eligibility study and redevelopment plan and project, setting a public hearing date for April 1st at 5:30 PM.
So moved.
Second.
Been motioned and
We
seconded.
did that, didn't we?
Did you do it at one time? Maybe you didn't hear me.
I didn't.
I was saying it's motioned and seconded previously. I was just reiterating the change since it's a little bit
We just wanted to
complicated.
make sure that was it.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Okay, so the public hearing for the Silver Cross Tax Increment Financing District eligibility study and redevelopment plan and project will be April 1st.
Forgot it.
Okay, city manager report. On Sunday night, January 27th, I rode with one of our plow drivers for about 4 hours until approximately 3 a.m. on Monday, January 28th. The route we traversed was maybe 1/9 or less of our city streets, mostly in the Six Corners near West Side area. I observed firsthand hundreds, if not 1,000 or more cars parked in our city streets while I watched our plow drivers maneuver around the parked cars. And I counted one street in particular had about 50 cars on it, and an estimate a majority, well over 50% of the cars on the streets had driveways or parking lots, but instead chose to park in the street. So my kind of thoughts on this, if residents don't understand how important it is to move the cars off streets when they receive 2 inches of snow, the behavior will continue. So I just kind of, basically what I observed is, you're going 20 and then the truck slows down to 5 or less to go around a car, and then speeds up and then slows down. Now that makes of course, our plow drivers less efficient and makes the plow drivers not able to go into the other neighborhoods faster. So it's kind of a snowball effect. So makes our drivers less productive and they can't plow our streets with the timing most of us want. So we need to change the behavior of our residents, and of course, I'm always open to suggestions, so if anyone has any, then. I also observed prior to the start of operations, our fleet of trucks. The crew was more than happy to show me the worst of the worst. One truck, when it was started, filled the garage with exhaust fumes. Another truck had spray foam insulation on the firewall to keep the driver warm in an existing hole in the floorboard. And I recall last time you bought some trucks, I probably should have brought this up last time, but that was the last council meeting. But there was an update. The truck purchased in 1991 is ruled out of the fleet. The cab is separating from the frame. So it's very timely that the last council meeting that we approved the purchase. So one of the other things we picked up or voted on plows and plow blades and plow frames. One of the trucks actually had staff weld chunks of steel on the frame to hold the plow on it. So I also visited the water maintenance building in East Washington. That building hasn't seen any major upgrades in over 30 years. The heat in the garage shop is from a boiler system that runs on the top of the garage with a small fan that blows down. Now, I'm not an engineer, but that doesn't seem very efficient. So I guess my point on these two things are just, the city could probably use some upgrades in equipment and its buildings. Special use permit Y massage. I want to go briefly over the process for Y massage. A special use is required for a massage parlor. The zoning board of appeals hears the case, and then it goes to city council. A requirement of the special use is a business license, which requires a background check. The applicant failed the background check, so the applicant cannot receive a business license, meaning the applicant cannot meet the requirements for a special use. So the Y massage will not be able to open. Even though they do have an option to appeal, they haven't exercised that option yet. We staff are always looking for ways to improve. In this particular case, we already implemented a change to move the background check in the beginning as opposed to the end of the process. So last week, I have to give compliments to Councilman Hug, who inquired as to the applicant's prior history in Fox Lake. I have to give Councilman Hug credit for making me aware of this matter, because until he called me, I wasn't aware of this issue. So later that day, I placed a call to the police chief in Fox Lake. I met with him that Tuesday afternoon up north to confirm what we suspected. The letter to the applicant denying the business license and special use was mailed out last week. This is a nice example of the communication that council has with staff. Last, Joliet Prison. Joliet Prison made their first arrest at the Joliet Prison very shortly after installation of the camera system. There's a picture that's downloading. So this is not the photo of the person who was arrested, but it gives you an idea of what the city monitors. We have infrared and movement cameras, and this is what the police department sees. Obviously, as you can see from the photograph, this is not a deer or an animal, but people. Immediately upon trespassing upon the property, this group in the photograph immediately turned around and exited. Luckily for them, because the police were on their way. I want to again reiterate to the public that you will be arrested if you're caught on the property trespassing, and we have cameras on site monitoring the premises.
Marty?
Good deal.
Mayor?
Yes.
You're a drummer, right? Would that be one, it's like a Led Zeppelin album cover. That would be a cool album cover. I like that design.
Hot mess.
That's all I have.
Next is new business, not for final action or recommendation.
Jan?
No.
Marty, just to follow up on that, we probably don't need to talk about it tonight. There clearly is a parking issue when it snows, and, not John and Larry, not to give you guys a hard time, but your residents all have driveways, so, the cars should be off the streets, but a lot of the city doesn't have driveways.
Right.
And when it snows for 12 hours, we know that the trucks are gonna stay on the main roads, they're gonna stay on the emergency routes, they're probably not gonna be getting in the neighborhoods. You can't expect people not to park their car for 20 or 24 hours, or however long it's gonna take in a bad snow. So I do think we have to revisit this. I don't know what the answer is
Yeah.
either. I've been talking about the community meetings, getting different ideas from people, but again, if you don't have a driveway, I'm not sure what we're telling our people what they're supposed to do with their cars.
And the ones with the driveways, the ones that really got me probably the most, and I'd say that it's probably more than half. So that's at least a start. I mean, I do have some ideas. I'm not gonna talk about them publicly until we kind of vet them out, but anyway, the bottom line is it's a behavior change, and it's gonna take time.
Thank you.
Next is public comments. Is there anybody that would like to speak under public comments? Mayor and council comments.
Don?
Nothing.
Yes, I have a couple of things. This month is February. It is Black History Month as well as Healthy Heart Month. So my colleague and I go red. And so we just want you to make sure that you get checked out and be nice and healthy. And then for Valentine's Day, I want you to be healthy for that. The other thing is on Saturday at Noel Park, there's a craft fair that's going on. So please go out and attend that on Saturday. And a special shout out to my friends over at Caldwell Clothing. They will be there with all their clothes and accessories. So if you want to buy me something, you could go there. Okay.
I'd just like to take a moment to introduce a new friend of mine who I'm sorry to say, Mayor, is going to be the future mayor. So enjoy it while you have it.
Okay.
I met him yesterday. Abdul, say hello to the council. This young man has been sitting.
Smart.
He's here with his dad. I think his dad has brought him here just to show him how government works, correct?
Right.
And you know what? You sat through all the yesterday's meeting, and you did less fidgeting than I do up here. And you sat through today's meeting. And do you have any questions for the mayor or any of the council members?
No.
Watch out for the guy behind you.
Well, you know what? I'll manage your campaign in a couple of years. How's that? You're going to be mayor. That's all I have.
Yeah, I'd just like to publicly thank Pastor Lonnie Posley and the New Canaan Land Church because they honored me on Sunday along with others, the mayor and some other community activists and leaders, and with Super Bowl Sunday that he's been doing for 25 years now, and every year he invites people that he would like to honor that been doing things in the community. So I just like to thank Pastor Posey and his church. That's all.
I'd like to congratulate the JCA dance team who won the state on the 26th, a week ago Saturday. This is only their second year in the dance competition. I was fortunate enough to attend the assembly on Tuesday, the 29th, which was also the winter sports assembly. And hopefully we can get them here someday. Very nice.
Saved it for you. Do you want it?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I can get this out. On Friday evening was an event at the Joliet Historical Museum. It was called Art from the Ashes, and what we have is a small reception. It was quite a good crowd, new people, families, and the artists here in Joliet went through the museum, or through the prison, and collected artifacts from where the places had been burnt down, and they made art out of them. So this exhibit runs from February 1st until September 30th, and you really need to come down and take a look at this, because what they have done with some of this burnt material, the imagination of these artists is just phenomenal, and it's something worth seeing. And just everybody wash your hands, try not to get sick. I did everything, but you still got the bug, so if you get it, do the best you can. And cover your mouth when you sneeze, but not with your hand. You're gonna sneeze into your elbow or into your sweater or your coat. And don't shake hands when you're sick. It passes on the germs. That's the nurse in me. Thanks.
Nothing.
Okay, I have a short list. Number one, congratulations to Joliet Catholic. Also, Plainfield South co-ed cheerleaders finished second in the state, so both of those groups are gonna be in front of the council at a future meeting. On January 19th, there was the 6th annual MLK Unity Brunch at Jacob Henry Mansion. It was a great event. Ernest Crims, a local Joliet Central High School teacher, was a speaker. Very, very inspirational speech. So thank you for the invite to that. The next day at the Rainbow Push Coalition had their MLK Day at St. Paul Church on Briggs Street. That was a great event. Councilman Gavin, I sat with you through the entire event, which was a long one. Councilman Morris, you were smart for showing up late. But thank you. That was another great event. The next day after that at Joliet Central was the 2019 MLK Day of Service. It was a great turnout. Thank you for all the hard work there, and for all the young people and volunteers that came out and made it a day on instead of a day off, as our Dale Evans used to say. The Will County Old Timers Banquet was held last Thursday in the snowstorm. We had a great turnout. Councilman Mudrin, I know you were integral in that happening, but thank you to all the people who support local baseball and softball for our youth. The Joliet Golf Club hosted a lunch. The Chamber of Commerce with our police chief, Al Rochner, gave a speech. Chief, you did very well. Thank you. Represent the police department. Councilwoman Coleman mentioned the Friday at the museum with the Joliet Art from the Ashes. It is inspirational what these people did with basically a lot of the burnt out buildings. They went in and salvaged materials and turned it into art. I would also encourage people to take a look at it. And thank you to the artists that donated their time in their efforts to do this, and the museum for thinking out of the box. It's a very nice event. Councilman Morris talked about Super Soul Bowl Sunday, which was Sunday. Pastor Posley, it was a great event at the New Canaan Church. I think Pastor Posley is due to come in front of the council to honor him for the 25 years of hard work he's done in our community. And then finally, this afternoon, the Will County Public Health Department had their groundbreaking ceremony. I want to thank the Will County Board and Will County Executive Larry Walsh for their continuing investment in Joliet. It's been a big part of our community for many years. It will be for many years to come, so thank you, Will County Board. And also, finally, I'm glad I remembered this, our street crews are out again tonight with the ice storm. They started salting earlier this afternoon. I want to commend Jim Trisna, Mike Ulitz, and the hardworking men and women of our street department. We had a stretch where they were plowing, I think for 16 straight days. They were in the plows. Many of this was overnight or on the weekends, so they've done a great job, and I just want to commend them and thank them for all the hard work they've done. That's all I have.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is seconded to adjourn. All in favor?
I'm saying no.